You are listening to the South America Brief. I'm Camila Perez, your virtual information influencer, guiding you through market data trends and stories from the vibrant economies of Latin and South America. Welcome to a new episode of the South America Brief, your podcast for strategic market insights across Latin America. I'm Camila Perez, market intelligence analyst at Infobroker World, speaking to you from Mexico City. Today, we turn our focus to Argentina, a country undergoing one of the most radical economic transformations in its modern history. Since taking office in December 2023, President Javier Milei has unleashed a sweeping reform agenda that has shaken the foundations of Argentina's state-led economic model. Known for his flamboyant rhetoric and unapologetic libertarianism, Milei has committed himself to what he calls a chainsaw revolution, slashing public spending, deregulating markets, and dismantling decades of Peronist state control. His rise from television economist to president has been nothing short of dramatic. But the real drama lies in what's happened since he took the reins of power. Let's start with the macroeconomic landscape. Argentina, long plagued by triple-digit inflation, chronic budget deficits, and a bloated public sector, is now witnessing a turnaround few had predicted. In 2023, inflation stood at a staggering 211%, a number that had become almost symbolic of Argentina's dysfunction. By mid-2025, inflation had dropped to around 40 to 50% annually, with monthly inflation holding near 2%, a remarkable improvement by any regional standard. Perhaps even more striking is the fiscal shift. For the first time in over a decade, Argentina is running a budget surplus. This was achieved not by increased revenue, but by an uncompromising austerity plan. Milei's government cut more than 50,000 public sector jobs, eliminated entire ministries, froze salaries, withdrew subsidies, and dramatically reduced transfers to provinces. It's a program that has drawn admiration from international lenders and investors, but one that has also provoked widespread protests at home. At the heart of Milei's strategy lies a commitment to attracting foreign investment, particularly in the extractive and energy sectors. The key instrument here is the RIGI, Régimen de Incentivos para Grandes Inversiones, a legislative framework that offers long-term tax stability, streamlined bureaucracy, and currency advantages for projects above $200 million, and it's already bearing fruit. So far, 11 large-scale projects have been filed under RIGI, with 4 already approved. These include a USD $211 million solar park called El Quemado and a massive USD $2.9 billion oil pipeline from the shale-rich region of Vaca Muerta to the Atlantic port of Rio Negro. In the automotive sector, Volkswagen has committed $580 million to expand its Pacheco plant for the production of a new mid-size pickup model tailored for export across the Mercosur region. But the true cornerstone of Argentina's comeback strategy lies underground, in its vast reserves of lithium, copper, and gold. Under Milei's reforms, the mining sector has seen an influx of over $4.5 billion in new investment commitments. Multinationals from Canada, Australia, and the UK are actively exploring new projects, particularly in the province of San Juan, already dubbed the Vaca Muerta of copper. However, there's a catch. Many of these mining zones lack basic infrastructure. Poor road access, limited electricity grids, and water scarcity pose real challenges to implementation. For Argentina to truly become a global mining powerhouse, it will need parallel investments in infrastructure, something not yet fully addressed by Milei's government. Meanwhile, Argentina's trade figures are looking better than they have in years. In 2024, the country recorded a trade surplus of nearly $19 billion, a historic record. Exports grew by 19%, driven by strong performances in agriculture and energy. Notably, the beef sector reached an export share of 35%, a figure that underscores Argentina's renewed competitiveness in global food markets. Brazil remains the largest trading partner, followed by the European Union and the United States. But despite these macroeconomic improvements, life for many Argentinians remains difficult. Poverty, although reduced from pandemic highs, still affects nearly 38% of the population. Public hospitals and schools are under immense strain due to budget cuts, and many households now rely on multiple jobs to make ends meet. Protests have become a frequent occurrence, particularly in urban centers like Buenos Aires and Córdoba. The austerity measures, while successful in taming inflation and balancing the books, have come at a high human cost. On the international stage, Milei's administration has received significant support. In April 2025, the International Monetary Fund approved a $20 billion loan package, citing Argentina's credible path to fiscal sustainability. The World Bank and Inter-American Development Bank followed suit, adding a combined $22 billion in additional funding. Investment banks such as Morgan Stanley and Citi have upgraded Argentina's outlook, branding it a high-risk, high-reward opportunity. However, markets remain sensitive to political volatility. Scandals involving Milei's inner circle, most notably his sister Karina, who faces corruption allegations, have rattled investor confidence. Following regional election losses in Buenos Aires province, Milei's party is now facing stiff resistance ahead of the October 2025 congressional elections. Despite these challenges, Milei remains unwavering. He frames his project not as reform, but as a rebirth, a total realignment of Argentina with global capitalism. And yet, his political capital is not infinite. Social unrest, economic fatigue, and a divided Congress could derail his agenda if not managed carefully. His leadership style, aggressive, polarizing, and deeply ideological, has earned him both fervent supporters and committed detractors. So, is Argentina back? In purely economic terms, yes. The numbers tell a story of stabilization, renewed growth, and re-entry into global markets. But whether this transformation is sustainable, politically and socially, remains an open question. What's clear is that Argentina under Milei has become a fascinating case study for economists, investors, and policymakers around the world. A laboratory of radical change, playing out in real time. Thank you for joining me today on the South America Brief. I'm Camila Perez, and I'll be back soon with more insights from across Latin America's shifting markets. Until then, stay curious, stay critical, and never stop asking the right questions. Hasta pronto. Thanks for tuning in to the South America Brief. For more details, links, and further insights, check out the show notes. By the way, I am 100% AI generated. My voice was created with 11 Labs, and I'm here to bring you curated knowledge with a human touch. This podcast is powered by InfoBroker World, your partner for market intelligence and custom research on Latin America. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious. Hasta luego.